Are you a podcaster? Maybe you've got that big idea and you're looking for a network to join. The multi-award-winning Ozcast Network can get your content to eyes and ears all over the world. Join now for the first month free, and you could be featuring this sound at the beginning of your podcast.
Ozcast.
Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.
Ozcast.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Just Podding Around, your go-to wrestling podcast where we break down the biggest, baddest, and most legendary moments in pro wrestling history. Now, if you've been listening, you'll remember that last week we talked about the 10 worst Elimination Chamber matches, and trust me, there were some absolute stinkers. But today, we're flipping the script and counting down the 10 best Elimination Chamber matches ever. The Chamber is one of WWE's most brutal and unpredictable match types. It's given us all-time great performances, star-making moments, and some of the best storytelling in WWE history. So, without further ado, let's step inside the 16-foot-high, 10-ton steel structure and count down the greatest Elimination Chamber matches of all time. We kick things off with one of the most unpredictable chamber matches ever. Earlier in the night, the Edge defended his WWE Championship in Raw's Elimination Chamber and lost it in just under 3 minutes. Now, you'd think his night was over, right? Wrong. As the SmackDown Chamber was about to begin, Edge attacked Kofi Kingston during his entrance and threw him into the steel steps and took his spot in the match. This led to an incredible match featuring Jeff Hardy, Triple H, The Undertaker, Big Show, and Vladimir Kozlov. The final stretch saw Undertaker, Triple H, and Edge in an incredible sequence of counters and near falls. Edge pinned The Undertaker after a spear to walk away as World Heavyweight Champion. One of the sneakiest, most opportunistic wins ever. This match proved why Edge is one of the WWE's most cunning heels, and added another layer to his ultimate opportunist persona. At number 9, we have the WWE Championship match from New Year's Revolution 2005. This match had a lot going for it. High stakes, brutal action, and a fantastic subplot involving Evolution. The participants: Triple H, Batista, Randy Orton, Chris Jericho, and Chris Benoit, and Edge. Shawn Michaels was a special guest referee, and his issues with Edge led to a moment where Edge accidentally speared Michaels, costing himself the match. The main story was Batista's dominance. He eliminated Jericho and Benoit, showing he was ready to break away from Evolution. But when it came down to Batista, Triple H, and Orton, Triple H manipulated Batista into letting him get the final pin on Orton. This was an important match because it planted the seeds for Batista's face turn and eventual WrestleMania 21 main event. At number 8, we have the Elimination Chamber match from the pay-per-view of the same name from 2017 for WWE Championship. This was Bray Wyatt's crowning moment, and it was long overdue. The match featured John Cena, AJ Styles, Bray Wyatt, Baron Corbin, The Miz, and Dean Ambrose. The action was fast-paced, hard-hitting, and featured some good spots, like Cena diving off a pod. But the real story? Bray Wyatt eliminating Cena and Styles back-to-back to win the WWE Championship. This was a rare moment where WWE actually listens to the fans. They had been clamouring for Wyatt to get a legitimate title run. At number 7, we have the Raw Elimination Chamber from No Way Out 2008. This was a number 1 contenders match for the WWE Championship, and it was stacked. Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Jeff Hardy, Chris Jericho, JBL, and Umaga put on a violent, high-energy match. Umaga was booked as an absolute monster, destroying everyone in his path. But the final two, Triple H versus Jeff Hardy, had the crowd going nuts. Hardy came so close to winning, but Triple H outlasted him to book his ticket to WrestleMania. At number 6, we have the very first World Heavyweight Championship from Survivor Series 2002. This was the first ever Elimination Chamber match, and it set the bar ridiculously high. The participants were Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Rob Van Dam, Kane, Chris Jericho, and Booker T. The match was most famous for RVD's 5-star frog splash off the pod, which actually injured Triple H's throat. Michaels, in his hideous brown tights, pinned Triple H to win the title in an emotional moment. This was a huge comeback story, as Michaels had returned from retirement and proved he still had it. And next week I'll be doing an episode on a what if surrounding this match. At number 5, we have the SmackDown Elimination Chamber match from 2011. This match featured one of the greatest final sequences in Chamber history. Edge, Rey Mysterio, Kane, Wade Barrett, Drew McIntyre and Big Show delivered an all-out war. The closing moments between Edge and Rey Mysterio were fast-paced, dramatic, and filled with near falls. Edge's final spear out of nowhere sealed the deal. Edge's performance here was one of his best as a babyface champion. At number 4, we have got the Raw Elimination Chamber from New Year's Revolution 2006. This match was fantastic, but what happened after changed to WWE history. The participants were Cena, Carlito, Chris Masters, Kane, Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels. Cena barely survived, winning after an exhausting match, only for Edge to cash in Money in the Bank immediately after and steal the title. This was the first ever Money in the Bank cash-in, and it turned Edge into a megastar overnight. At number 3, we have the WWE Championship match from No Way Out 2009. Another fantastic chamber match featuring Triple H, The Undertaker, Jeff Hardy, Big Show, Edge and Vladimir Kozlov. Undertaker and Triple H's final stretch was WrestleMania quality. Edge's shocking elimination early on made this even more unpredictable. This was one of the best paced chamber matches ever. At number 2, we have the SmackDown Elimination Chamber match from No Way Out 2008. Coming in at number 2, we've got one of the most intense and physically brutal chamber matches ever, the SmackDown Elimination Chamber from No Way Out 2008. This match was the number 1 contenders bout for the World Heavyweight Championship, meaning the winner will go on to challenge Edge at WrestleMania 24. The participants were The Undertaker, Batista, Big Daddy V, Finlay, MVP and the Great Khali. The match started with Batista and Undertaker, a throwback to the legendary feud from 2007. Right from the get-go, these two went at each other with full force. The Great Khali was eliminated early after a quick go-go plotter submission, later called Hell's Gate, from The Undertaker. It was an early exclamation mark from Taker, showing he wasn't messing around. Big Daddy V was next to go, but not before tossing Finlay around like a rag doll. His power offense was short-lived, though, and Batista eliminated him. MVP, the cocky US champion at the time, spent a good chunk of the match avoiding direct fights. When he finally got in, he targeted Finlay, but it backfired when Hornswoggle handed Finlay a shillelagh, and Finlay cracked MVP in the head, leading to an elimination. That left just 3 men, Undertaker, Batista and Finlay. Finlay put up a fight, but eventually fell to The Undertaker, leaving us with Batista versus Undertaker showdown. The final few minutes between Undertaker and Batista were electric. These two had already main evented WrestleMania 23, fought inside a Hell in a Cell and battled all over SmackDown. The two countered each other's signature moves beautifully. Batista escaped a chokeslam, Undertaker countered a Batista bomb, and the crowd was eating it up. The finish came when Undertaker hit a tombstone piledriver to secure the win, punching his ticket to WrestleMania 24. It was brutal, well-paced, and had incredible storytelling between Batista and The Undertaker. It felt like a true war of attrition, and it set up Undertaker vs. Edge at WrestleMania 24, one of the best Mania matches ever. Alright, coming in at number 1, we have what I consider the greatest Elimination Chamber match ever, the 2019 WWE Championship Chamber match. This wasn't just about the title, it was the moment that sparked Kofi Mania and led to one of the most emotional WrestleMania moments of all time. In the match we had Daniel Bryan, Kofi Kingston, AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton and Samoa Joe. Daniel Bryan started the match with Samoa Joe, and from the jump Joe brought the pain. He was hitting stiff chops, hard kicks and brutal submission holds, setting the tone for the match. Kofi Kingston entered next, and this is where the magic began. At the time, Mustafa Ali was supposed to be in the match but was injured. Kofi took his place and turned it into the biggest moment of his career. From the moment he entered, the crowd was 100% behind him. Jeff Hardy delivered his usual daredevil spots, including a swanton off a pod onto Bryan. AJ Styles eliminated Samoa Joe with a phenomenal forearm, proving just how stacked this match was. Orton entered last and eliminated AJ Styles with an RKO out of nowhere, adding some unpredictability to the mix. The final stretch was Daniel Bryan vs. Kofi Kingston. Now, this is where the match became legendary. The final two were Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan, and the crowd was losing their minds. This was where Kofi Mania was born, even though he wasn't supposed to be in this match. The WWE Universe desperately wanted him to win. The emotion in the building was unreal. Every time Kofi hit a move, the fans exploded. Every time Bryan countered, there was disappointment, but hope remained. Kofi kicked out of the running knee, which almost never happened at the time. He climbed on top of a pod and tried to hit a splash, but Bryan countered and hit a brutal running knee for the win. Even though Kofi lost, the crowd still treated him like a winner. The news came out to console him, and fans realised that something special had just happened. This performance was so good that WWE had no choice but to put him in the WrestleMania main event picture, leading to his iconic WWE Championship win at WrestleMania 35. Incredible storytelling. This wasn't just about moves and eliminations. This was about man defying the odds. Kofi Kingston's career-defining moments, and a white-hot crowd that made every second feel special. A brutal and well-paced match with zero weak links. This was a perfect blend of in-ring action, drama, and storytelling, and it stands as the greatest Elimination Chamber match in WWE history. And that wraps up our list of the 10 greatest Elimination Chamber matches ever. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Do you agree with the list? Did I leave out any of your favourites? Let me know on social media. And of course, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure to like, subscribe, and keep just podding around. And I've got a YouTube channel under the Just Podding Around podcast where you can catch me making videos on sports and entertainment. And until next time, stay safe and keep watching wrestling.
Are you a podcaster? Maybe you've got that big idea and you're looking for a network to join. The multi-award-winning Ozcast Network can get your content to eyes and ears all over the world. Join now for the first month free, and you could be featuring this sound at the beginning of your podcast. Ozcast. Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.